up, everybody? Welcome back to a KBO Collections Hobby Drive. First one in a few days. Coming off of a 5-day weekend where we had basically the Korean Thanksgiving holiday is what it was. Coming off of that, so spent some time at home, and by home I mean my apartment here. But spent some time here at my apartment, spent some time at the beach, spent a lot of time drinking alcohol. So that was a big thing of my holiday, as most holidays are. So anyway, yeah, just heading into work on this Thursday morning. Kind of weird to be starting the work day or work week back on a Thursday, but that just means only 2 days, and then I get another vacation, so to speak. So yeah, it's not bad. Bit hot and muggy this morning. It seems like the heat has returned in some ways. Not exactly like it was, but it's still getting pretty hot. Hot enough. So this morning, before going to work, got up, called my mom, wished her a happy birthday. Today was her birthday, so wished her a happy birthday, and talked with her a little while to see how things have been going at home. Actually going right now. Looks like we have a breakdown in the middle of the road with the police setting up a thing. I don't even know what's broken down. Looks like a big dump truck is broken down. So yeah, anyway, but so talked to my mom for a bit this morning. Wished her a happy birthday. And now, like I said, headed to work. So what is on the agenda for today's hobby drive? Well, something that I kind of wanted to talk about, and this is just my opinion on this. So if it's an opinion, it can't be wrong. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about was the kinds of people that you meet in the collector space. And basically there are 4 kinds of people that you're going to meet in the collector space. And none of them are wrong. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that we necessarily always like what they have to say, or even that we like how they collect or what they do within the collector space. And the first one that I'm going to start off with is something that you seem to see a lot if you're very active on social media. I've got a fly in the car, but I can't get it out because I don't want to roll the windows down while I'm trying to record. But the first one that we generally see, and we see a lot, is the collector who is all about the prices, all about the values. That's what their focus is. Their focus is what's expensive, or what's worth a lot, or what they think is going to be expensive, or what they think is going to be worth a lot. So you see this a lot. You see this a lot from the influencers. And part of the reason why you see this so much from the influencers is because, guess what, people? Influencers aren't your typical collectors. Influencers are often in it for the money. Surprise, surprise. They are in it because they have a vested business interest in the hobby. They may be setting up at shows. They may be doing whatnot. They may be doing eBay. They may be doing Facebook Marketplace. Any number of sales rooms. So those people are often going to just pump card after card, price after price, because they're trying to sell you. They're trying to say, hey, look at what I've got. Look at how much it's worth. I think it's a good deal. You're going to get like this return, something. So come buy it from my store. Come look at the deals you can get. Nothing wrong with that. Not a thing. because without business people in the hobby, like there wouldn't be anybody to sell the stuff, honestly. Like, yeah, I mean, you could go back to like retail, or not, yeah, I mean retail, like Walmart and Target and whatever. But the thing is, I don't know how that would work for people such as myself, right? Because me personally, I'm an overseas collector. I can't just walk into a random retail store and buy some cards. Like, it just doesn't happen. So I depend on buying stuff from the US. I depend on buying it singles most of the time. So anyway, so that's the first kind of collector that you're going to be like looking at a lot of the time. Probably the most in your face, probably the most out there collectors are the ones who are in that value price oriented spectrum. Not saying that's the most, no, that's not saying that's the majority of collectors. I'm just saying that's the ones that you're going to see most often. They're going to have probably the biggest followings and all that kind of stuff. Now, the second kind of collector, and this is where I would put myself in the collecting realm, is someone who is, you know, a little bit worried about having cards that maintain some value, but also I don't really care as much about the prices and the values and stuff like that. I want them to hold some value, but that's not my focus. You know, so like that's kind of secondary to me. Like, and that's you know, that's the kind of collector I am. You know, I like to know that my card went up in value, and hopefully it stays up in value, or hopefully it goes up in value. But at the same time, I'm not sitting there focusing on those values. I'm not keeping up with them. I'm not tracking them. Once I buy the card, I buy it. And if it goes up, it goes up. If it goes down, it goes down. You know, like I said, we all hope it would go up. Why do I hope it would go up? I don't sell a lot. I do sell, but I don't sell a lot. Well, part of the reason is one of these days, like, this collection is gonna probably be passed off to someone. I don't know that it would be a family member. I don't know who it would go to, because I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I do have nieces, nephews, cousins, brothers, like all that kind of stuff. I don't know who this collection would go to, and you know, quite frankly, it might end up going to some organization to be sold off, you know, for them to like benefit from. You know, it could end up going to, you know, some charity organization or something like that. But so because of that, I do want it to hold some value, and I would like for it to go up in value to make it worth their while to either hold or sell, quite frankly. So yeah, so that's kind of where I put myself in the collector's realm, and like I said, that's kind of like the second one that I would say. You know, the people that, you know, they care about the value, but they care more about the collection than the value, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Then you have the third type of collector. This collector really doesn't care at all about prices or values. They just collect. Never have any intent of ever selling any of the stuff. Don't care if they sell anything. Don't really care. A lot of times, you know, they're just like, I just want it. I want this for my collection. And, you know, like, those are probably the collectors that maybe are I wouldn't say the least active on social media, but they're probably the ones that sometimes can be the hardest to find, you know, when it comes to that. Like I said, I think you find a lot that are about the value always, and then you have a good portion that's kind of like me, the second part, that, you know, kind of cares about the value, but also cares about the collection more than the value. And then third, you have the ones that, like I said, don't really care too much about the value. They just want the collection. They just want the cardboard for whatever reason. It could be an emotional attachment to it. It could be, like just they have that collecting bug, and once they're in on something like collecting sports cards, they're just always in on it. Things like that. So, any number of things. So I would say that's probably about your third type of collector, or third type of person in the hobby. And the fourth type is your dealers. And so your dealers can be all of those things, honestly, because you have dealers that are just dealers. You have some that seriously are just dealers and don't even really collect cards. You have some that are dealers and collectors and have massive collections. And you have a little bit of everything in between. And the reason why I make that the fourth category of people in the hobby or collectors is because when it comes to dealers, a lot of times they will be about the money and the values because they have to. Like that's their job. That's their livelihood. So they have to keep track of the stuff. They're in the business. So it's important for them to be up on all that and to keep up with it and to follow it and to try to keep people aware of what prices are, what values are, stuff like that, because they want to sell. That's how they make their living. And of course, I know many people it's a part-time gig, some are full-time. But then also you have the ones that are the dealers who they're only like that when it comes to their actual sales end of things. But they're collectors, and as for their collections, a lot of the time, or not a lot of the time, I would say a lot of them fall into that. As for their personal collection, they're kind of that number two category. They're kind of worried about the values and stuff, but at the same time, they're more concerned about the collection than the values. So a dealer can kind of cross into all lanes in a way when it comes to the hobby. So those are kind of the four types of people you'll meet, the four kinds of collectors in the hobby. Although some dealers may not be collectors, like some may seriously just be dealers. But at the end of the day, are any of those the right way or the wrong way? I can't say that they are the right way or the wrong way, because like anything, you're always going to have some people that are more driven by money and values, and then you're also going to have other people that are more driven by just the fun and the community, things like that. Now when it comes to who you follow and who you keep up with on social media, a lot of the times it's best to follow people that are within the similar group to you, because otherwise you may end up getting really annoyed or irritated by a lot of their content or things like that. So for example, I'm in that number two group where I care a bit about value, but I care more about the collection. So for me, it tends to be that it's better for me to follow people that are like that, or people who really don't care about the values and the prices at all. It's better for me to follow those than the ones that are all about the money. And the reason why is because the ones that are all about the money, often they do annoy me, because it's just big money, big money, big money. And they're essentially a used car salesman. And the thing about used car salesmen is they often use a lot of pressure tactics, and I've turned completely dark here in this tunnel. It's a dark tunnel. But they use a lot of pressure and in your face and all that, trying to get you to buy. And like I said, nothing wrong with that. I just tend to not follow that because it just doesn't interest me. I'm more interested in the people who are like me, who are collection first, value second, or the people who are, just straight collection, don't care about the value. And then also, I think it is good to follow some of the dealers and things like that, because you do get to keep an idea of kind of like what goes on. It gives you a way to kind of see how the business is functioning. It also kind of gives you a little insight into the health of the overall hobby. If they're having a hard time and not selling, but they have good quality stuff, then things may be on a bit of a downturn. If they're selling pretty regularly and they have good quality stuff, then maybe things are all right. So anyway, basically the point of this whole video was you're going to meet all kinds of people. They're going to collect in different ways. Some really aren't going to care much about anything other than the money aspect of it. Others are going to care about nothing but the card aspect of it. I fall there in between, where I want some value, but I also care about the cards. So yeah, so that is, and by the way, in another tunnel, this drive puts me through a lot of tunnels. But that's all I had for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you think about the different types of collectors? What are they in your opinion? Are they the same as what I just brought up? The money only, the money and collection split, the collection only, and then the dealer end of it. Is it 4 categories for you, or is it more? And by the way, breakers, I put those in the dealers category because that's what they are. They're dealers, but we call them breakers now. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to try to not finish the video until I get out of this tunnel, and then I'm about to go into another one. So yeah, so almost, here we go. We're going to have a break from a tunnel for about 1 or 2 seconds. So yeah, so please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.